passive stealing. You could have been someone that's had sex with multiple people. It doesn't matter. Because Jesus still loves you. He doesn't love the sin. He loves the sinner. And God will take those situations. When you give your life to Christ and you choose to follow Christ, He will take those situations and allow you to use those as testimonies to reach out to others. To give you an idea of what it means to be a person that bears good fruit. Picture yourself in a garden. You're sitting there doing what you do in gardens. I don't know what you do. My wife does all that stuff. I just say, hey, it looks good, and go back inside and eat an apple and watch NASCAR. Actually, I don't eat an apple unless there's chocolate on it. But here's what I do, okay? Here's what you do. If you're in a garden and you're sitting there pulling weeds and all that stuff, you notice that you have this little plant and a branch falls off. Now, if you don't take that branch and graft it immediately, that branch is going to eventually wither. It's going to eventually die. Okay? It's going to dry up. The plant is going to still continue to live, though. But this branch is going to die. So you need to hurry up and graft it back, okay? Just keep in mind, whenever you have a branch, that branch will always bear fruit while it's on the plant. It can bear fruit in the form of something edible, fruit. It can bear fruit in the fact that, it has pretty flowers. Or, just being shade is a way to be bearing fruit. But as long as the branch is connected to the plant, it will always bear fruit. And that's what Jesus means. John 15:5 says, or Jesus says, I am the vine, you are the branches. If a man remains in me and I in him, he will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. That right there sums it all up. I am the vine, you are the branch. Bear fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. That's why God chose us. Because He knew that we needed it. Now, sure we realize, okay, we know God needs us. We know that God's chosen us. But how many of you wondered why you were chosen for a specific task? How many of you ever thought, well, why did you choose me? This person was better. I'm not qualified for this. Why would you hire me? I don't even know algebra. I don't know how to do math. So why would you choose me to be in the bank? It's weird. Okay. Everybody has those same blunders. Everybody questions that same thing. Why me? Why me? And if you all had that same question, I got good news for you. If you read this Bible right here, you're going to find so many other people that have wanted the exact same things. Give you a few examples. Look at Mary. An angel came down and said, hey, Mary, guess what? You're going to give birth to Jesus. He's going to be the Savior of the world. She's like, whoa, why me? Why not my next door neighbor? Why me? Okay. Look at Samuel and David's brothers. When God said, I'm going to select a new leader for Israel, and it's going to be David. Man, he's like the tiniest guy in our family. He's like so small. What do you expect him to do? Like slay a giant or something? Why? Okay. Another man, we're going to dive deep into him right now, that wanted the same exact thing. Is a man you all know very well from Exodus, and his name is Moses. We're going to dive into that right now. We're going to first talk about when Moses was first called. So if you have your Bibles, feel free to open them. We're going to have it on the screen too. If you don't have your Bibles, that's fine. It's also on the sheets that you were given at the beginning of the day. But open your Bibles in Exodus 3, verses 1 through 4. We're going to take a look now at the time when Moses was first called, okay? So here we go, Exodus 3, 1 through 4. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. And he led the flock to the far side of the desert and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that the bush was on fire. It did not burn up. So Moses thought, I will go over and see this strange sight, why the bush does not burn up. When the Lord saw that Moses had gone over to look, God called him from the bush. Moses, Moses. Moses said, here I am. So here it is, it has begun. God has now called by name Moses to this burning bush. So Moses approaches this bush. Moving on to Exodus 3, 7 through 12. The Lord said to Moses, I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their slave drivers, and I am concerned about their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land to a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey, the home of the Canaanites, the Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. And now the cry of the Israelites has reached me, and I have seen the way the Egyptians are oppressing them. So now go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. But Moses said to God, who am I? Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? And I love God's reply. God said, I will be with you. Now by a show of hands, how many of you ever felt that way? Wondered, who am I? Why me? Anybody out there? I see a lot of hands out there. You know, I've been there as well. I wonder, God, why did you choose me to do this? You know, I can only imagine what was going through Moses' head at this time, okay? Here's Moses thinking, God, I'm just a normal man, just a man that was lucky to escape Pharaoh and all that stuff. But seriously, how can I do this? I mean, here you are, God, asking me, one single man, to go and free thousands upon thousands of your people from Egypt, from Pharaoh. How can I do that? I'm just one single man. Well, you know, I will give Moses credit on one thing. One man alone by himself can't do that. He can't. But I'm going to give you a little math equation. 1 plus God equals majority. 1 plus God equals majority. So when God is on your side, you're not just one man anymore. You're not just one woman anymore. If God tells you to do something and he tells you, I will be with you, it's just clear sailing from there. You'll be able to do exactly what Moses did. You will be able to free thousands of people. You will be able to save the lives of thousands of people if it's something that God's called you. But you know, still yet, Moses still had his concerns. Moses still had his doubts, just like I'm pretty sure a lot of us would. I mean, it's still 1 versus several hundred thousand. So in Exodus 4:1, Moses answers to the Lord. He says, well, what if they do not believe me or listen to me and say, the Lord did not appear to you? What if they think all that is not true? So God responded to Moses by giving him signs, showing him the tools that he is going to use to allow Moses to do this. So God says to Moses, you know, Moses, pick up your staff, throw it on the ground. Moses picked up the staff, bam, throw it on the ground. What happened? It turned into a snake. So then Moses picked it back up thinking, whoa, that was pretty cool. God said, whoa, that's not it. That's not it. That's not all of God's glory right there. I want you to take your hand and just put it in your coat. Put it in your pocket. Okay? Put it in his pocket. Pulls it out. Oh, it's leprous. It's crazy. Puts it back in his pocket. I'm sure he was like creeped out by that. Whoa. Pulls his hand back out. It's back to normal. See, God is showing Moses now, you know what? I am going to provide for you the tools that you need to get this job done. God is showing Moses all the tools that he's going to use. And you know, it's the same thing for us. If God has chosen us for something, God won't send us on a mission and then expect us to fully equip ourselves or better yet, God doesn't send us on a mission just because we're qualified. No, honestly, if that were true, that would mean God would only pick qualified people to do the job. And in all honesty, God doesn't pick the qualified. He qualifies the chosen. Okay, so God's not going to pick you because you're not qualified. If God picks you, he will qualify you for that job and for that task at hand. If God has chosen you, he is going to equip you with the knowledge you need. He is going to equip you with the strength and the ability that you need to complete the task. And that is exactly what he's doing right now for Moses. But even with all this, even with these signs, Moses still has doubts and fears. But now his doubts and fears isn't about how is this going to happen. The doubts and fears that Moses has now goes to personal struggles. God, I can't do this. I have a problem. There's something that I can't do. God, you're calling me to talk to all these people. Well, I can't talk to people. Exodus 4:10-11, Moses said to the Lord, oh Lord, I have never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and of tongue. Then the Lord said to him, who gave man his mouth? Who makes him deaf and mute? Who gives him sight and makes him blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, I will help you speak and will teach you what to say. See, God is assuring Moses that he will be able to speak. So if you're thinking life can't go out